Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking once again, we talked about this a couple of days ago, but we're going to be talking about that upcoming pattern and how we could have a massive warm-up or even a heat wave here for the eastern United States. Anyways, for today's comment of the day, do you think that this upcoming June is going to be dictated by this heat wave pattern that we're going to move ourselves into? Or do you think it'll be more of a cooler pattern eventually in the month of June? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get straight into this video, and first things first, we're taking a look at how the beginning of May went. Is the first 14 days of May. You can see a very cold pattern here in the eastern two-thirds of the country, just very, very cold. In that green area, we were 4 to 8 degrees below normal on a 14-day period. So that's a very large sample size to be that far below normal. A very, very extreme pattern we were in. And in the west, it was very far above normal there. That's a positive PNA pattern, and that was what was basically making the colder air go east. The 14 days that followed after that was basically the opposite. We saw colder air than what is normal there for the western United States, and we saw a warmer pocket of air there for the northeastern corner of the United States, as you can see, and that's basically how we closed out the month of May. And if you look at kind of some of this is basically the first 30 days of May. You can't look at 31 days, so we had to just cut the last day of May out there, but this is the first 30 days of May. It was actually mostly colder than normal here for the eastern half of the country and mostly warmer than normal there for the western half. So that basically means that first 14-day period was a lot more potent than the second one. So once you look at the whole month as a whole, that was basically the pattern that dictated the whole month of May for us. Now, finally, looking towards the future, well, actually, it's a little bit into the past. It was actually yesterday evening. Very, very warm compared to normal there along the western seaboard. So a very positive PNA pattern we found ourselves in. It was kind of near normal here for the eastern United States. And then the south central there, as you can see, was very far below normal. There, especially Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, and New Mexico, especially. And this is a look at our positive PNA, negative PNA pattern. As you can see, we're in a positive PNA up there. We're kind of like 4 above what is a neutral line there. And then we're going to move back towards the neutral line by the 5th. So in just a couple of days, we're going to go sharply negative there, as you can see, by the time we're reaching the 6th, 7th, 8th. So we should see a warm-up in the eastern United States due to that very, very extreme switch up in the PNA, basically. This is up two very extremes, positive to negative. Is going to be very abrupt, that switch in the pattern. So what we're going to do in a moment is we're going to watch that pattern switch happen due to that PNA. And it's going to be very extreme. Heat wave in the northeastern United States and the Midwest and the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes cannot be ruled out. So by the time we are reaching tomorrow, which is going to be, again, Thursday, June 3rd, I can't believe we're already in June, you guys, we can see that there's going to be a big area of cold air down there still for the south central United States, and really the eastern United States is mostly colder than normal, and the west is still warmer than normal for the most part, but you can tell that the further north you go, the more it's creeping eastward through the upper plains, the upper Midwest, and even the Great Lakes by this point. So by the time we reach Friday afternoon, that's going to be June 4th, take a look at that. It has creeped even further eastward there into the northeastern United States. It's particularly that darker red region as well as those kind of grayish, brownish colors in there. That is where we are about 16 to 30 degrees above normal. So that is where we're going to be definitely feeling those very, very warm temperatures in there. Very hot, actually, matter of fact. And even by time we're reaching Saturday, it's very clear that that positive PNA is coming to an end. You can tell there's some colder air making its way into the northwest, the western areas there of Canada as well. That is all signs of a negative PNA moving in. Again, the 5th, 6th is when we were expecting that switch up anyway, so it is occurring before our very eyes here. And then we see for the north central United States, the Great Lakes, these areas they're dealing with far above normal temperatures. Same story for coastal New England, including all of Maine actually there as well. And this is kind of the first or maybe even the second day that we would basically be in the 90s for a lot of regions, pretty widespread. So this actually looks like it could officially be a heat wave. I think it's Friday through Sunday, but it might even be Saturday through Monday. But you need 3 days of 90s in a row to be officially considered a heat wave. And I looked at it, and there is actually a really good chance that that does occur for many, many folks. So I'm not lying when I say heat wave for that region on the thumbnail. It is actually very, very possible at this point. And this would be actually like the second heat wave for a lot of these regions. We had one a couple weeks ago, maybe about a week ago, actually. That was pretty potent, actually. And now we have the warmer air moving back in. It looks like it's going to be a scorcher here for the kind of middle portion of the month of June, at least. So we're going to need to wait and see how that plays out. Obviously, this month could go down as warmer than normal, especially with the way it's going to be beginning. We'll have to wait and see for sure. I think it's certainly possible. By the time we reach Sunday, and that's going to be June 6th, you can see that we do have those far above normal temperatures for the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and now especially the Northeast as well, all dealing with the very, very far above normal temperatures. Again, look at the West. We have that negative PNA setting up, like I said, which basically just means colder than normal conditions for the west coast of Canada and the United States, or just North America, basically. The western seaboard there of North America, if it's colder than normal, that's a negative PNA. If it's warmer than normal, it's a positive PNA. And basically, east of that, you can expect the opposite conditions. So if we have colder along the western coast of North America, we can expect warmer temperatures to the east of that area. If it's warmer out there, we can expect colder than normal conditions to head out east of there. I hope that makes sense. I know it gets a little complicated sometimes. Here's the actual temperatures just to show you guys. Widespread 90s. It's kind of scattered in, but really for the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, even the Southeast, we're all dealing with some areas reaching 90s, and that is expected to potentially be a heat wave. It could even be Friday through Monday here. What we're going to do is in a moment, we're going to move on and show you guys Monday, because it could also be very far above normal, even Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, it is just going to carry straight on through into the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th of June. Here is Monday, and that's going to be June 7th, and you can tell there's still the darker reds, there's still the browns for gray or browns. I think it's more of a gray than a brown, honestly. Weatherbell has these really complicated color shades, but we do have I guess that would maybe be a fourth day in a row with potential 90s there for especially the northeastern and north central United States. And then by the time we're reaching Tuesday, look at that, fully negative PNA. You can see all the way down through Mexico, up and down the west coast there, very cold. This tells me an end for this warm-up is nowhere near happening by this point. We see the very far above normal temperatures still for the Northeast, the North Central, the Great Lakes as well. All of those brown and gray and red regions, especially the darker reds, are basically dealing with a potential heat wave. And Wednesday, June 9th, it's still the same story. The negative PNA is still around out there. We still see the browns, the darker reds. So still potentially in those 90-degree plus high temperatures for this region. And by the time we reach Thursday afternoon, it's going to be June 10th, you can still see we have very warm temperatures here in the eastern United States and the western United States, with cold kind of entering in through the Rockies and the plains. And that especially becomes the overwhelmingly, it's going to be kind of a stuck pattern where we're going to be stuck in this. It's an omega pattern. But by Friday afternoon, you could tell this is basically the pattern that was on the thumbnail. Warm in the west, warm in the east, cold in the middle, and that is a pattern that I expect to pretty much stick around for quite a while potentially. Now, as we look at the 10-day pattern from the 2nd through the 12th, this is basically all of the things we took a look at in this video. This is basically the overwhelmingly common pattern that we're going to see over the next 10 days. And as you can see, for the south central United States, there's going to be a cold pocket, but outside of that, really, we're going to be warmer than normal for most of the United States. With, again, just heat waves possible for many, many different regions and many folks. So we're going to be keeping you guys up to date with these very hot temperatures that could move in. Please be safe. Check in with all your neighbors, especially the elderly, as this hot temperature pattern that we're going to move into sets in. It could bring implications, obviously, especially for folks like them. Anyway, for our confidence tab, is a little bit longer range. We are pretty confident there will be a warm-up, but the heat wave, some things are a little bit more a little less likely, more like a 60 to 80% chance. Still very likely, but we're at a 4 out of 6 here on our confidence tab. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, how do you hope this upcoming June goes? And James Marr, our cold lover, said, I hope it's cool and damp. I'll take those months year round. Very, very wild there. We have a lot of people actually that follow my channel that pretty much would prefer it to be winter 24/7, 12 months a year. Very crazy. I prefer the change for sure. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, John Benbenick, James Wade, Dovi Nagel, Pan, and Donna Carnes. alongside our Diamond patrons Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Codalessa, Catbite, Charles Stinnick, Cindy Klein, Mark Jelly, Luke Flago, Gary's, and John Coolisi, as well as Dwight Phelan. I always forget you on accident. Anyway, for today's channel membership as well, we would like to thank our Why the Top Dogs Hair Froms 1 and Catbite as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to destroy the like button. Be sure to leave a comment down below to help that YouTube algorithm out. And be sure to subscribe if you like weather-related content. I will see you guys in the next video.